Hello! Welcome to your saxophone. Alright, so let's talk about making a sound on our saxophone. It's the first thing and most important thing that we can do. If we can make a sound, the rest of it becomes pretty easy. So let's talk about our saxophone, what we need to make a sound, and how we need to do it. So, we have our case. On our case, there's usually going to be a label. That label needs to be facing up. If you don't have a label, when you open up the latches, they need to open upward. If you open them upward, that means it's facing up. Once you've done that, you can open your case. There's three main portions to the saxophone. We have our body, we have our gooseneck, and we have our mouthpiece. We're not going to use the body yet. We're going to use the gooseneck and the mouthpiece. We're going to talk about how to make a sound on that. So, the most important part to all of this is the reed. I'll give you a reed, and this reed here is what makes the sound. This is what vibrates to make the sound happen. So what I want you to do is take out your reed, you'll take the reed, and you'll put it in your mouth. You can then take this reed case and throw it away. You don't need it anymore. Now, if it's the first time you're using a reed and you're at home, you can get a little cup of water to make this a little easier for you. Take your cup of water, just a little bit, you don't need a lot. Take the reed, put it in the cup of water, just like that. And then let it sit there while you get the rest of the instrument put together. When you're at school, if you've done this once, it's easier to get the reed soaked. So when you're at school, that's when you put it in your mouth. Alright, so we need two main portions of our instrument to make sound on the instrument. We'll need the gooseneck, and we'll need our mouthpiece. So what I'd like for you to do, on the mouthpiece, there's this cap. Go ahead and take the cap off, set it down. On the mouthpiece as well, there's this little metal part here. This metal part here is called a ligature. This is what holds the reed onto the instrument, onto the mouthpiece. So we're going to take that ligature, slide it back on, and we're going to take the mouthpiece and put it onto the cork of the gooseneck. If you notice there's a lot of cork there, I want you to slide this about halfway on to the cork. Not all the way, not just a little bit, about halfway. There we go, just like that. Now, you might have had it where the hole's facing one way. Let's learn how to put that on there properly. The hole should face downwards of the key on top. So see how my hole's here on the bottom, key's on the top. Notice as well that my ligature screws are on the bottom. I want to always tighten with my right hand and loosen with my right hand. Alright, so now that we've gotten to that point, the next thing that we need is to put the reed on. So now I can take my reed out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it onto my mouthpiece. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hold my instrument, my mouthpiece and my gooseneck, and I'm going to slide the ligature up, whoosh, just like that. Now there's a hole there where I can slide my reed into. I can take my reed, the flat end of the reed goes down, the rounded end goes up. I'm going to slide it right on to the mouthpiece, just like that. Now, I don't have my reed on there proper yet, we're going to adjust that, but that's how we're going to put the reed in. To adjust the reed, what we want to do is make the tip of the reed even with the tip of the mouthpiece. So I'm going to adjust, tip of the reed is even with the tip of the mouthpiece. Once I've got the tip of the reed and the tip of the mouthpiece even, just like that, left to right, top to bottom, nice and even. I want to pull my ligature down nice and snug, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down. There we go. Now we're ready to play. The part we've all been waiting for. So, when we play, we're going to need to talk about our mouth setup. That's all our embouchure. To get our embouchure correct, what we want to do is we want to Pull our lips back like we're saying we. And we want to put our lips together. We, lips together. Now what I'd like for you to do is while you're going we, lips together, I want you to take and bite your bottom lip. We, bite. Notice my corners are back and I'm biting my bottom lip. Good. Now what I'd like for you to do is take one finger. The hard part of your nail is going to match the hard part of your teeth. The soft part of your finger is going to match the soft part of your lip. Hard, hard, soft, soft. We, finger in, hard, hard, soft, soft. Close. And that's what the feeling will be like for your embouchure. When we blow into the mouthpiece, we want to make sure that we're blowing like we're blowing out a candle. Nice and even. Don't blow up a balloon. Candle. Make sure that air has good direction and flow. Alright, so we're going to put the mouthpiece into our mouth. We don't want to put the entire mouthpiece in, just a little bit. About half of it will go into our mouth, maybe a little less than half. Okay, so we're going to take our teeth and go on the hard part, the rubber. We're going to take our lip and go on the soft part, the reed. Okay, hard, hard, soft, soft, close down. Now it's a pretty big opening in the mouth, and that's good. Don't bite. Don't be real tight, because we don't want to pinch that reed shut. Top, hard, hard, soft, soft. Kind of like you're almost saying, ooh, we, ooh. Pull those lips up. Hard, hard, soft, soft. Now is when we get to play. Remember, candle. Blow the air straight out. Hard, hard, soft, soft. There you go. Isn't that fun? If you happen to get a different sound, you might be biting too hard or too soft. If your sound's like this, that means you have too much ooh. Firm up a little bit. Make this bottom lip a little tighter, more wee. Pull back. If your sound happens to be like this, that means you're way too tight. Loosen up a little bit. Don't give me so much wee. A little more ooh. Let's talk about putting it away real quick. When we put it away, we want to start with our reed. Take the reed, we loosen up the ligature, we slide our reed out, and we put it back in our mouth. I'm going to put it back in my cup. The next thing we want to do is take off the mouthpiece from the gooseneck. We can take our gooseneck, put it away, take the mouthpiece, put it back in its cap, put that away. And you have this magical little reed guard. This is going to protect your reed. You're going to take the reed and you're going to slide it down on the flat part and gently slide it in until it's good and snug. Once it's snug, that's all you need. It doesn't have to go all the way in, just enough to keep it snug. That way your reed stays good and fresh for the next time that you need it. So, what I'd like for you to do, put on the reed, put on the mouthpiece, put the mouthpiece and gooseneck together, candle air, blow out that candle. Do that about 5 or 7 times until you can get it good and solid, then you'll be ready to move on.